Duncan Love.
Yeah, Duncan Love.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to put on a sultry voice for this one. Dixon Crane. Just play.
What kind of book is it?
It's a book of poems. The subtitle is and Little Loves Along the Way. The book is underpinned by the book of love in scripture, that's Corinthians 13.
Mhm.
It speaks about love. So what I've done is that runs through the vein of the book. That's like the main vein of the book. A spiritual perspective on love, as prescribed by Christianity, as seen in scripture. Now, alongside that, you have juxtaposed what I perceive love to be, what I perceive to have experienced as love, and love as I have evolved and as my perspectives have evolved, so has that, idea of love changed. So each time I grow, I'm like, whoa. So at 10 years old, you perceive love to be everything being given to me, given to me. 10 years pass, then you're like, there has to be more. 10 more years pass, you realize that you need to be more in the habit of giving. But in the book, there are other things too, idiosyncratic to my home culture, Jamaica, other Caribbean cultures, things I've experienced here in the Northeast of the United States. Little habits, because they are performances of love, because they come from our home culture. I saw mommy do this, so I'm unwittingly performing this as an act of love. This is the way I'm going to cook stew peas. This is the way I'm going to bake the cake because grandma did it this way. So, and that forms a part of the little loves along the way. I'll just share one poem from the book. There are also poems about Dixon Crane. Let me just throw that out there in case I be chastised later. Yeah, so that's on record.
Okay.
Boom. Good. So this one is called Code Switch. I'm gonna be, code switch, self-explanatory, self-evident. Whether yard or abroad, we find say, Wagwan, como ça va, que paso, is but the rhythm of the people. A thing felt in the deeper streams of our being. Sak Pase, a song that streams over the Mississippi, coursing o'er the sweet bayou, skipping over waves and beats against every shore, till Napule carnivals about you, grinning from ear to ear, from Kingston to Jaluise, Havana, Hartford, everywhere. Nonverbals scream with pouted lips and hands on hips, a dap, a pound, hoop, earrings swinging are the broadest hips. Potter bubble, fisher steam, foo, festival and jambalaya. Ital stew, chapea, rice and peas. Wait, oh, boiled green banana. The ebb and flow of colors reflect the sing-song patterned after the one drop to which we all sing along. One love for orange and green in orchard-like harmony. Give thanks, jobless, and big up yourself, family. But no matter how much you learn abroad, try and know say, remember your yard. And that's my son throwing toys down the stairs. Little loves along the way. So that's gonna be a poem at some point in time. But I hope you could have heard, the greater portion of the poem.
This is a beautiful thing. I just enjoyed that so much. Thank you.
Oh, word.
The background music was really great.
Wow. Say hi.
Hi, Mama.
And
Hi there.
Hi, Auntie.
bye.
Bye.
There you have it.
Any comments? I think that's beyond comment. It's amazing what you can we'll go back to Dixon's cooking book now, okay? And I'm going to remove your spotlight, James.
Mhm.
And hopefully Dixon, your son will not be bothering you or drumming in the background. I don't know. Okay, so you're going to be talking about the 7 vegan
7 day
vegan diet. Yeah.
So yes, quick cooking with Crane. So I completed that as I guess a preview to a bigger book that I want to publish that will have more recipes in it. And it shares my journey transitioning to a vegan plant-based lifestyle. It was hard. There were a lot of bumps along the way. I didn't know where to start in the beginning. So the book has a lot of pointers for those who are interested or curious in that type of eating, I guess, or that lifestyle. And the recipes are pretty quick. Like you won't spend a lot of time in the kitchen, like grueling over the hot stove. They're tasty and quick and nutritious.
Okay. And they're recipes that you've developed on your own? They're
Yes.
things that it's all you.
Trial and error.
Trial and error. Oh, no. And are you, so the plant-based, can you talk a little bit more about what plant-based vegan cooking is? Because I think there might be some people who aren't really that comfortable with that and don't know what that means.
So, well, plant-based, someone who says that they're plant-based, they try to eat more, I guess, organic foods. So your fruits, your veggies, and they may even still eat meat, but they go for the organic, whole foods. And a vegan is someone who just doesn't eat any animal products. But some of those products could be processed though. So plant-based is a healthier way of life than eating processed foods anyways.
So really trying to stay with the plants themselves and not get into all the derivatives from that, like the corn, for instance, is a plant, but we eat corn syrup and corn oil and corn, a lot of corn stuff.
Right.
Yeah. And that may not be part of a good vegan diet, a lot of corn oil and
Right.
syrup and
The body.
so and how many recipes are there recipes in this book, or is it a story of your story?
It was a little bit of my story, just a little bit, and there are 7 days of recipes. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. And it's all vegan.
Yes.
And after you do 7 days of these, what happens to you?
Well, hopefully you'll feel a little bit lighter. You feel more energetic.
Yeah, I bet. I bet it's a great way of doing it. And they're accessible recipes. They're not anything that is difficult to find in the store, in the grocery store.
It's not difficult. Chickpeas, beans, your fruits, your veggies, seasonings.
Good.
Pretty simple ingredients.
Well, thank you. Now we're at, let me see, 7:08. Do we want to, what would you like to do next? Melissa Sujan, I'm going to ask you, and I'm removing your spotlight, Dixon. And Melissa, what do you think we should do next?
I'd like to share another book.
Okay, good.
Awesome.
Let me put you on the spotlight. And
Hi again. So Toni Morrison said, if there's a book you want to read, but it's not out there, you should write it. To simply paraphrase. So we wrote the books because the characters that we wanted to see didn't exist, but also the stories we wanted to see didn't exist. I went to the library looking for a book that taught children the different apparel that different cultures wear. So went to East Hartford Library and I found books, tons of books, talking about the hat, the shirt, the pants, the shoes. I even found books in Spanish and French. Sombrero, help me out, James. Camisa, pantalones, zapatos. But I was like, what about Indians? What about Africans? What about people who identify as Muslim or Arab? Those books didn't exist. So Olivia and I, again, came up with the Olivia Lauren series and we wrote a guide to things we wear. And it starts out that Olivia's at a fashion show and she's like, my friends and I decided to figure out what other people wear. And as the story continues, you're seeing different families showing their cultural apparel. But a lot of times people think diversity means difference, right? So we focus on you're different from me. I remember doing a DEI training and someone said, I don't understand why Arabs have to cover their faces, right? Why they have to wear hijabs or burqas. And someone said, do you realize that Muslim women look very similar to Catholic nuns? One wears a hijab, one wears a habit. Same amount of letters, both start with H. And again, it's because we focus on the difference. Why are people covering themselves? What are they hiding from? And then you look in your own culture and you're like, wait a minute, I went to Catholic school and the nuns looked exactly the same. So I think we should focus on diversity as beauty and as something to be celebrated, not something to shy away from. Any comments, Olivia?
No, I don't think so.
Olivia, when you were thinking about this fashion show, what kinds of things were you going to put on the fashion show? What kinds of costumes or dresses or outfits?
They were just like, what is the right word to say?
Trendy.
Not too like very big dresses, kind of like ballroom dresses. Because as a kid, I used to do a little bit of modeling and I used to wear this big blue dress and it was one of my favorite things to wear. So in the story, there's a picture of me just walking down the road.
Oh, how cool. Is it a photo of you?
It's
a
the
photo.
illustration.
Oh, it's the
And by the
illustration.
way, all of our books, all 4 in the Olivia Lauren series, are available on the shelf at East Hartford Library.
Yay!
So this is the first page.
Oh, that's the dress.
Yes.
Nice. And who did the illustrations for that?
So we have youth authors, brother and sister Simon Anais Clark and Zachary Michael Clark, brother and sisters. They were under the age of 18 when they did it.
Really? Oh, that's so great. Wow. And are they East Hartford residents? Did they?
They are actually in New York. But our other book, Olivia Travels, Miki is a Connecticut resident.
Oh, cool. So yeah, how many books have you published so far in your public?
As an author, we have 5 books, right?
Yeah, 5.
But as a publisher, we have 22 titles.
Yes, I saw your stable of authors. There's quite a few authors. A lot of great people are on there. A lot of different topics too. You do all kinds of nonfiction as well as fiction and all kinds. Yeah.
Yeah, we do. So initially we started out thinking just diverse characters, try to fit the curriculum. So as an educator, I try to see what are K-5 students learning. So I look at the STEM curriculum and I try to address that. So like in Mani's books, there's one on the forces of flight, which I didn't know before she wrote the book. So I'm learning as well. And there's like photosynthesis, plant growth, plant reproduction. So that's in the science curriculum. And then the solar system, learning about the different planets. That's what she did.
I was impressed with cybersecurity, actually. I was really impressed that there was a book on cybersecurity.
For that age group, right? And it's especially needed because children are scrolling online, so they need to know, don't just click every link. Don't give your parents' credit card information.
Yeah, very good advice, especially for parents, I guess. Well, I want to wind this up with thanking you and feeling so grateful that you all, and I'm going to undo your spotlight there, that you've all participated in this wonderful new event. And I'm going to end the recording, but we're not going to leave, okay? Because I want to get your feedback a little bit.